Hello and welcome to the third in our series of Insightful Planning with Astute videos. I'm Elliot Unsworth, Head of Client Proposition at Astute Private Wealth, and in today's video we're going to explore cash flow forecasting and dive into the intricate world of retirement income planning. Whilst a pension is just one of the many vehicles that may be available to you once you decide to stop work, and may just make up one part of your overall resource, for the purposes of this video we're going to focus solely on pension planning and how a pension can be used to provide an income in retirement. So, let's get started. As we navigate these waters, we'll focus on two commonly used pension income strategies, annuity and drawdown. An annuity typically offers a guaranteed income stream for life, providing financial security, but often with less flexibility. On the other hand, drawdown typically allows more control over how you access your pension fund, but involves managing the longevity of your assets. Let's understand the implications of these choices. Annuities typically provide a predictable income that is secure for life, but won't suit everyone due to the lack of flexibility. Drawdown allows for more personalisation, aligning with varying lifestyle preferences and financial goals, but comes with a very real risk that you may run out of capital and therefore income in your lifetime. Furthermore, drawdown allows for your pension to remain invested and is therefore subject to market movements. Let's have a look at some cash flow outputs so we can begin to see the difference between these two pension income options. Firstly, let me introduce you to our client Sarah, who's retired at age 60 with a pension fund worth £500,000. For the moment, let's ignore any other assets that Sarah has and ignore Sarah's expenditure. Instead, we'll just look at the capital that's available to Sarah at any given moment over time. In scenario 1, Sarah starts off with £500,000 in her pension, illustrated by the green bar. She purchases an annuity, essentially swapping all of the pension fund in exchange for a regular income for life. As I said earlier, we aren't looking at the expenditure yet, so the income builds up over time in savings as demonstrated by the pink bars. This chart is purely to show the value of the annuity over time, and by the time Sarah reaches age 100, the annuity will have paid out £1.8 million. In scenario 2, Sarah retains her pension fund, which continues to grow over time. You can see that the capital value of her pension fund surpasses £2 million at age 100. On the face of it, Sarah would get more value out of retaining her pension fund. However, this is far from the whole story. Now let's revisit these scenarios and look at the income being generated and therefore how much Sarah can afford to spend each year. With the annuity, you can see the regular guaranteed lifelong income being paid each year in green. The annuity is predictable, and the answer to the question, how much can Sarah afford to spend, is easy. She can spend the income, which in this case is around £24,000 per annum. The annuity will pay out for the remainder of Sarah's life, so during her lifetime there are no unknowns and no variables with this annuity. Its main benefit is its security. Now we can have a look at the income generated in the drawdown scenario. This might look like an error, but it's because the income amount is undefined. Sarah can draw whatever she likes, whenever she likes. She could even withdraw the whole pot on day one. Spoiler alert, this would not be a good idea for many reasons. Instead, we can use the cash flow tool to calculate a sustainable income, with the aim of providing a comfortable retirement without exhausting the pot too early. Here you can see that the drawdown pension fund is depleted at age 100, which is the intention for the time being. Based on a number of assumptions such as investment growth of 4.5%, inflation of 3% and life expectancy of 100, the calculated sustainable income is £17,000 per annum, which is considerably lower than in our annuity position. So on the surface, the drawdown route provides less income and is riskier. So why would anyone opt for drawdown? The key is in the flexibility that drawdown can offer and the ability to shape the income you draw over time to reflect your changing circumstances. There are a few key changes that we can account for next: the introduction of a state pension entitlement and a reasonable reduction to cost of living in old age. Back to our annuity scenario, the change we've made this time is to add Sarah's state pension entitlement at age 67, granting her an assumed additional income of £11,500 per annum, shown in blue. You can see the marked step up in her available income at that time. Again, the answer to the question of what can be spent is easy, except now the answer is £24,000 until 67 and then 35.5. What you will note here is that Sarah's full income continues into old age and all the way to age 100. In fact, not only does it continue, but it actually increases. She's earning the most in her retirement at age 100. Now, it would be nice to think that we could continue to go on holiday, eat out with friends and regularly visit the gym into old age, but we often see a marked reduction to spending in later life, as the time may come when the mind is willing but the body is unable. The lack of flexibility in an annuity means that you will continue to be paid an income into old age, whether you can spend it or not. Here's where the drawdown really comes into its own. In this scenario, we've started with the previous sustainable income of $17,000, but when Sarah's state pension comes into play, she's able to reduce her drawdown pension income by the same amount so that her total income is unchanged at that point. This means that Sarah is expected to reduce her reliance on her pension fund in later life. You can see here that the change to the value of the pension fund over time is quite astounding. Sarah is now predicted to have over £1.5 million in her pension at age 100. Instead, Sarah has the opportunity to increase her income in early retirement with a view to reducing it in later life. Our final scenario here shows Sarah drawing an income of $30,000 initially, reducing when a state pension becomes payable, such that her total income stays the same, and then reducing again in later life. This has been done with the aim of the capital just about lasting to age 100, as you can see here. This much more realistic picture shows that Sarah can have a more luxurious lifestyle in her younger years. Sarah and her husband can enjoy the holidays they've both dreamed of, with the very realistic expectation that her lifestyle will mean reduced spending in later life. This kind of flexibility is not available with an annuity. As we compare the two scenarios, it's crucial to balance the desire for early enjoyment with the need for financial security in later life. Our detailed projections empower you to make informed decisions that align with your retirement goals. When assessing which option is right for you, the income security of an annuity versus flexibility of drawdown debate is just one consideration. There are inheritance considerations and tax planning strategies that we'll need to build into a retirement income plan, potentially long-term care costs such as care fees, to name a few, and it requires a detailed and holistic view of your personal circumstances and objectives in order to make the right choices for you. Understanding these scenarios helps us create a personalised retirement income strategy tailored to Sarah's preferences and financial objectives. Our powerful forecasting capabilities ensure we can navigate the complexities of retirement planning with improved clarity and confidence. Thanks for joining me in this exploration of pension fund withdrawal options with cash flow forecasting. If you have any questions or want to discuss your specific retirement plan, don't hesitate to get in touch. Stay tuned for more insights, and until next time.